everybody, welcome back to the Chapple Show. So what I wanted to talk about today was what is the most important day of the week for successful people, for entrepreneurs, for business people in general. What do you guys think? Do you guys have a guess in your head? What is the most important day of the week? All right, let's go through this here. Keep that guess in mind, okay? Let's start off with this number, 84%. What do you think that represents? 84%. All right, that is the number of people, according to the, I think it's the what is that called? The Labor Statistics Bureau of the United States. It's on the government website. 84% of people have typical 9 to 5 Monday to Friday jobs for the most part. They fudge the numbers a little bit there. Some of them do Monday and then take Tuesday off and then work Wednesday to Saturday. But for the most part, they said Monday to Friday, 84% of people work Monday to Friday, typical 9 to 5 shifts or something similar, like 10 to 6 or, Monday to Friday is the most important part here, okay? So that's most people. This is most employees. This is a lot of people in the middle class across the United States, Canada, the world. Most people have those kinds of jobs. All right, so let's talk about what people typically here do on weekends. Specifically, let's talk about young people. Let's talk about my anecdotal experience. The friends that I know that have Monday to Friday jobs have Saturdays. Saturdays are their day off. Saturdays are their true day off. It's where they do whatever they want. They go to the movies, they plan out with friends, they go drink their face off. I know a lot of people still do that. They go, party, they, whatever. They go to see their family. Saturday is their true day off. That's when they make plans. That's when pretty much everyone who works Monday to Friday takes Saturday off for the most part. Now, it's also a day for hobbies and things like that too. But Saturday is typically a day off. Now, what about Sundays then? Why am I even pulling up this market here? Sundays are a typical like recovery day and kind of set up the week kind of day for most people that work Monday to Friday. So Sundays are like, you go to church, you pay your bills, you watch football Sunday. I know, how many people watch football all Sunday for like 6 hours straight? You know how many people that is? That's what I'm guessing. I'm gonna go ahead and guess, random guess. 10 million people in the United States every Sunday spend 6 hours watching football on when the season's going, NFL. What do you guys think? Is that a right number? I mean, I think that might even be higher. 330 million people in the United States might even be higher. Might even be 20 million. I don't know. That's just a random guess. Maybe lower. Maybe the ESPN rating should verify this. Anyways, I'm getting distracted here. Let's move on. But Sundays are typically a recovery day. So now, why I want to talk about what's the most important day of the week for entrepreneurs. So this is something that it's a little bit, what's the word? A lot of people disagree with this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. So weekends are what I call get ahead time. All right. So most middle class people, again, nothing wrong with being middle class. I don't want to say anything's wrong with middle class, especially if you're happy, you have a family. I'm talking about people struggling to get by, typically have Saturdays and Sundays off for the most part. Or, I shouldn't say struggling to get by. A lot of people struggling to get by have 2 jobs, do work weekends and work Monday to Friday as well. But typical middle class people, 84% work Monday to Friday, right? So, but weekends are what I call get ahead time. And so especially in your 20s, all right, while your friends are going to drink their faces off or they're going to, go on a date, you want to go hook up with people, go take a whole day off, go to Wonderland. I don't know what you guys do, right? Whatever that is the time to get ahead. And Elon Musk says this too. I'm going to get to him in a second here. But, so what should you be doing on weekends specifically? So what am I saying? What's the most important day of the week? Elon Musk said this too. It's pretty much weekends. Weekends are the time when you get ahead of everyone else in civilization, essentially. Everyone else takes a couple days off. You keep trucking through. Okay? And so what was I going to say here? And so what should you be doing on weekends? I should start off saying that. What should you be doing on weekends to get ahead? I'm not saying that you have to go take a second job and work Saturday, Sunday. I'm not saying that. If you want to, you can. But weekends, especially when you start out, when you're a young entrepreneur, when you're a young person looking to get ahead in life, that is the time to essentially build skills. That is the time when, Gary Vee says, you want to go get an internship, try to get an internship on weekends at some place, right? Or, you want to learn how to code on weekends. I mean, I learned how to make YouTube videos essentially on weekends when I started. This was, how many years ago was that? 4 years ago when I did it on my other channel, my science channel. I did that essentially on weekends and a little bit after school afterwards once I started getting some success. But weekends are the time to get ahead. That's the time to build your skill set. So what is it that you guys want to do? What is it that you want to do in life? What are the skill sets that you need? So here's what I want you to think about is whatever you want to accomplish, whatever business you want to build, What are the skills that you need for that? Maybe it's communication skills, like public speaking. I don't know a lot of people that can talk to a camera like this for 10 minutes and just keep talking and talking and talking without it being written out somewhere. Maybe you guys want to work on that. Why don't you guys start a podcast or something? You want to work on your speaking? You want to work on your sales ability? Try talking to a camera first. Try doing a podcast. Try to do Instagram posts or Snapchat or try something. Whatever it is, whatever skill set you think you need to accomplish your goal for business or for whatever your goal is, weekends are the time to do that specifically. That's when people are taking time off. That's the time to get ahead. Okay? And if you're watching this, I bet that you do stuff on weekend. I bet that you build a skill set. Maybe it's not enough. We're going to talk about Elon Musk right now. He's going to talk about that in a second here. Okay, let's jump to Elon here. Let's jump to Elon. Okay, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase him here a little bit. But I remember him saying this in an interview. I couldn't find the exact quote anywhere. But he got asked, why do you work 7 days a week? Why do you work 7 days a week? It was kind of a silly question because an entrepreneur already kind of knows you kind of have to. But his answer was really interesting. It's statistics, actually. So he said something along the lines of, well, if you work weekends, if you work 7 days a week, assuming you don't get burnt out, I'm going to talk about it in a second here. But if you work 7 days a week, you're essentially producing 30% more production than most people. If you work weekends just as much as you work Monday to Friday, or if you build a skill set on the weekends as much as you work Monday to Friday, you're going to get whatever it is. If you do 7 days a week of whatever it is versus 5 days a week, you're going to have 30% more output or production to whatever that is. I'm not saying work 7 days a week, but I'm saying usually you kind of have to if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur. But, well, yeah, what I'm trying to say here is that he said, well, think about this. He broke it down. So if you work 7 days a week, you're 30% more, you produce 30% more. And he gave kind of this stat. It's, essentially what most people can accomplish in 12 months, working 5 days a week, you can do it in 8 months. All right, you're about it's about 8 months and a few weeks, but that's what he was trying to say here. Specifically, it was about Tesla. Specifically, it was if you work every single day, we can have a goal done in a few months ahead of everyone else if the goal takes a year. And he says that adds up over time. Now think about if you did that, work 7 days a week for 10 years. For 10 years. All right, how many months? I should have done the math on that. So I guess you're 40 months ahead. You're essentially 3.5 years ahead and have produced 3.5 years more worth of whatever you're working towards than someone who only works Monday to Friday. You're years ahead of people if you do that. If you work on this, if you do it for a decade. All right, so that's just if you're working 8 hours a day and stuff too. So now Elon went into something else like this. He went into this a little bit too. Man, if someone can link to that video or that interview where I heard this, I remember hearing it. Just post it in the comments down below because I couldn't think of where he said it before. But anyway, so now let's do some math here. All right, so now let's say you're Elon Musk. You're a crazy super entrepreneur. You work 7 days a week, right? You work 7 days a week and you work 12 hours, okay? 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what, 84 hours? So you work 84 hours a week. You're a super successful entrepreneur. You're Elon, you're doing Tesla and SpaceX and Solar City and OpenAI. You're doing all this stuff, right? He works 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. So essentially, he was doing the math on this, is that if you compare it to the typical person works, a 38-hour week, not 40 hours because, you got those companies out there that don't want to pay people full time. Let's just say 40 hours, okay? So what he was trying to say here is that what the average person, in terms of the amount they work, if it was going to take them 12 months to do something, it would take Elon essentially 5.5 months to do the same task, just from time input. This is just from time input. This is not including how, intelligence affects this or how skilled you are at whatever you're doing is. This is just pure time input. So this is what I want you guys to think about, is that this is not a short-term thing. I'm not saying go work this weekend or go build a skill set this weekend and, burn yourself out if that's not what you want to do. or if it's not suitable for you. I'm not saying to go work weekends. I'm not saying to even build a skill set on weekends, but I'm saying if you want to accomplish a giant goal, like building a company or being successful, I mean, I've read so many books, especially over the past month, trying to get my brain back into this YouTube business world instead of the coding world. I didn't hear one thing about one business person, about all the books I read, who took weekends off or even a day off. They kept working until they got to the point where they were so successful or cashed out that they only needed to work a few days a week or 5 days a week instead of 7. All right, Kevin, actually, I should talk about this in a different video. That's a whole different video for another time. But what do you guys think of this? Do you think that the most important day of the week is weekends? I think it is, because I think I think it's the get ahead time. So what do you guys think of all this? What do you guys think? Leave comments down below. By the way, I needed to do I have one more quick thing I want to say is that, so Joisk, obviously I'm wearing the shirt right now. I think I should start doing this. So because we talked about Elon, we are going to have the Elon Musk book by Ashley Vance. When did I read that? I think I read it a few months ago. That's going to be on sale for about 24 to 48 hours after this video comes out. So it's going to be like $9, somewhere around $9, $10. It's going to be half price. If you want that deal, please go check it out now. And this is specifically for Canada and the United States, by the way. Worldwide, I cannot give discounts. Shipping cost is just too much, and I have not prepared for that. But Canada and the United States I can do. So if you want essentially 50% off the Elon Musk book, which was great, by Ashley Vance. I think that the author actually did interview Elon and had dinner with him. Was talking about all of his weird mannerisms and stuff too. By the way, you know what? I don't want to go on too much of a tangent here. You guys saw the Joe Rogan thing, right? Where he went on, smoked some weed, and the stock went down 10%. He's also getting sued by the SEC as of today and might be removed as Tesla CEO. I don't know if you guys heard that. Anyway, this is a long tangent. I'm going to do a podcast. Hopefully in the next week or so, I'll talk about all that stuff. But anyways, what do you guys think? What do you think is the most important day of the week for entrepreneurs? I think it's the weekends, and most entrepreneurs would agree with me that I've met and read about, is because it's the most important 2 days of the week is because you get ahead of everyone else that isn't working those weekends. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Anyways, yeah, remember, check out that Elon Musk book. It's gonna be $9 or $10, only for about a day or two. So please do that now. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button or leave a review if you want to. If you're listening to this in podcast form, leave a review on iTunes. Helps me out so much. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people. See you guys, hopefully tomorrow.